Fox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. The 2015 recipient of the Best Local Podcast by the Creative Wolfing of Tampa. You are tuned in to Happy Hour, syndicated on IRN and heard around the world on the Happy Radio app. From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
Yo, what's up? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. And for the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my rants and my opinions to broaden your horizon. So call the show, 856-49-HAPPY. That is 856-49-HAPPY. And I will be sure to pot you up. But first, listen to this. This is an online talk show. We're not on the radio yet. So I don't have a phone screener. So it's very difficult for my ADHD to screen a call, to talk about the news, and check Twitter. So when I say all phone lines are open, that's when you call me at 856-49-HAPPY. That is 856-49-HAPPY. Also, tweet at me at Ryan Happy Radio, and I will be sure to see it in real time. And if you have the Happy Radio app, that you can get from the Google Play or iPhone shop. Search up Happy Radio, Hoppe Radio, and there you can chat me live and you can listen to me anywhere in the world. Oh man. So last week I got that voicemail from the fan of the previous show I worked on, which time has gone on where I'm over it. It makes me laugh. I find it comical. There used to be so much anger in my heart about the 3 months. But now I find it funny because now I'm in Tampa Bay and I'm going to be going on a cruise in 4 days. So I'm very grateful for everything I have right now. But I love these fans. And I just can't let go. I was there for about 10 weeks. The phone screener I replaced was there for 10 years. It's very weird how the fan base keeps clinging on and like trying to bring me down. And I'll be honest, when I first moved to Tampa, I wasn't on my meds. I wasn't very confident. So I would do these periscopes and the fan base was mean. The fan base has turned around and I'm getting a lot of listens in Cleveland. But if this was a year ago, I would have been really offended over these messages. But now I find it funny. But I got this message from the same area code and the same number that called me last week and took the time out of his day to say that I suck and that I'm a sea munch and that the previous show made me, bitch. And then he said, I'm going to see you next Tuesday. Well, he called today and left a very classy voicemail. He called me like 5 times while I'm getting the show prep ready. And it's marvelous. The fact that somebody would put the time of day to put 856-49-HAPPY into their phone, call 3 times, and then the third time, you would then leave a voicemail. It's just very odd, the passion of radio fans. I used to be like that, but I never was the mean radio fan. But I was the guy that would listen every day and every second to Opie and Anthony or Howard. I was very passionate. And working in radio has kind of died it down. But I just find it funny when these guys have so much anger in their heart over a 10-week, let's say the 10 weeks I was on a radio show. Just the anger. So here's the voicemail. It's very comical. 856-49-HAPPY. It's 856-49-HAPPY. So here is the voicemail from a 440 area code, which is Cleveland.
You're a douchebag. Kill yourself.
What I love is I could have answered that phone because I was getting the prep ready and I had my Gmail account, my Google Voice open, so I could have answered the phone. I wonder what he would have said to me if I would have left the thing open and I would have answered the call. Because a lot of times when these guys talk smack, they say it behind the keyboard or they'll say it behind a phone. But whenever my goofy ass has been recognized in public, I've never, ever had anything said like that to me. I've had a few people that were honest, that I respected, say, I'm not a big fan of you. I like your hustle, but I don't like you on air at all. And I respect that. But I've never had anybody go, you're a douchebag, kill yourself, I hate you, Hoppe. You want a shot of vodka? I can get you a shot. No. Nobody has ever said that to me. So call the show, 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-49-HOPPE. That was just a little quick, happy hot topic. And there's the drop from the previous show. All right. I'm not going to dabble too much into this whole Angelina Jolie versus Brad Pitt divorce. But I will say this. It's an end of an era because they got together around 2005, and I was in 5th grade then, so I know I made a lot of the listeners of Happy Hour right now feel old. My thing is this. Everybody's freaking out over it. Everybody's losing their mind. It was surprising. It was one of those news headlines where you go, wow, what's for lunch? Wow. What do I have to do today? Wow. Okay? What I find odd is how Americans get so into it. And the problem's going to be the Huffington Post, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and even my favorite site, the Daily Mail. What's going to happen is they're going to keep covering it. And it's the front of every news site. And we just had a bombing by a potential ISIS member in New York City. And we had a bombing at a Marine run in New Jersey. And those might be linked. And this is the same potential ISIS member that was looked into by the FBI 2 years ago. And the FBI just kind of threw it away and forgot about it, which it seems like they do a lot with all these terrorists. So you have all of that going on. You have record high crime in Chicago, which I'm going to get into as well. You have this election of this see you next Tuesday and this douchebag running. And one side could be a douchebag, one side could be a see you next Tuesday, but they're both imbeciles. You have everything going on in this country. And we have the attention span of a fruit fly because we go from, no, ISIS! No! Trump was on Dr. Oz. Pokemon Go. Oh my God. Jolie. Brangelina, they broke up. Oh no. Okay, fine. It's news. It was news between 10 a.m. East Coast time till about 2 p.m. And then you move on. And then you go on with your life. So I thought that was very weird that everybody was freaking out over it. And I'm very surprised that I didn't see anybody post any jokes about, let's say, Jennifer and any memes of her or any jokes like, she got the last laugh, or gee, I wonder what Jennifer is thinking. You know what Jennifer is thinking? She's thinking, I'm glad I got rid of that douchebag, or I'm glad he cheated on me 11 years ago and he's cheating on me again, or he cheated on his new wife again, so I'm glad I got rid of him. And I have a man in my life who's pleasing me, or I have ways to please myself. Trust me when I say Jennifer can give two craps about a guy that she has been removed from for a whole decade. Here is the one thing, before I move on, that kind of irked me about this whole divorce between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. She claims that Brad is furious at her because she said in the papers that he's a bad dad with anger and alcohol issues. All right. Here's the thing. You can say what you want, Angelina, about him cheating on you. You can say what you want about him potentially having a drinking problem, about him potentially just being a bad husband. but you kind of come off like a classless bitch when you say that he's a bad father, especially when you guys adopted 18 kids and you decided to have 1 million kids with him adopted or in real life. You just kind of come off like a sleazeball when you rip into his parenting skills. I get you're mad that he cheated on you, even though you hooked up with him while he was married and you made a very average action movie, so you're kind of a hypocrite. I get you're mad, but to rip into his parenting skills, you kind of come off like a see you next Tuesday. I'm just saying. And frankly, 11 years of being married is actually good, even if you're not famous. Most married couples that are getting divorced don't even last 5 years. So the fact that they went for 11 years, even if there was cheating involved, is pretty good. And that's 100 years in Hollywood. So that's my take on that. I also wanted to talk about this. Last week, Jimmy Fallon, who I used to be really critical of Jimmy Fallon. I used to be that guy where I would rip into him. I was a very negative person when I did radio overnight in Chicago at WNUR 89.3. I would call him a hack. I would say Jimmy Kimmel's better. Now, I do think Jimmy Kimmel is better. But I respect Jimmy Fallon. He's good when he's doing his interviews, because here's why. And I liked what Owen Benjamin, the comedian, tweeted. He could be interviewing a lamp, or he could be interviewing Barack Obama, and he'd be the same way. Now, to me, that means that he throws softball things into the interview, and he's not very riveting. It's more of like two guys just drinking a beer, and he's drinking water. It's very tame TV. But I will say this. Anybody, especially on the left side of the political spectrum, that was outraged that Jimmy Fallon was playing with Trump's hair and Jimmy Fallon was nice to Trump. Let me ask you this. Have you seen Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, or The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, rather? He's never said a mean thing in his life. The one negative thing about him was his potential drinking problem. He's a nice guy who can either be interviewing Will Smith, Bill Clinton, Hannah Montana, anybody. He could be interviewing me, and he'd be the same way. So this whole outrage everybody had, where they're like, Jimmy Fallon didn't ask Trump the hard-hitting questions. Jimmy Fallon was too tame. Have you seen the show? He's the guy that plays beer pong with guests. He's the guy that reads funny tweets. He's not exactly a quote-unquote shock jock or a quote-unquote TV analyst. I'm just saying. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. All right, here's the deal. You can tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio, or get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play or iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. We're going to come back and talk about more things in the news. After this, do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to this show, known as
Happy Hour.
What up? What is happening? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Happy Hour podcast. And I'm here today to talk about my new sponsor, Simply Prepaid of GoPro, which carries T-Mobile, Go Smart Mobile, Simple Mobile, and Ultra Mobile services. All of their plans are no contract, so you don't have to worry about that. And they are powered by the T-Mobile network. They have an unlimited plan for any budget. So maybe you're behind on bills and you don't have a lot of money right now, but you want to have an unlimited plan. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place to go to. You can bring in your own device, or take advantage of their large assortment of handsets. If you bring in your old device from another carrier, you can get a
What
free
moves are you
phone
talking
with
about,
no
Kevin?
contract.
I don't know what you mean by
Transfer your
nice
number from the
moves.
other
You
carrier.
gotta
So that is
explain.
one of the most badass features about them. One of the best things about Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is they carry a full assortment of accessories for your tablet or smartphone, and they even do repairs. So maybe something is acting up with your phone and you don't know who to turn to. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the place
Did
to go
you
to.
just
And they
pop
even
a
have
bunch of bubble
very
wrap?
Convenient cell phone classes. So maybe you're behind on the whole smartphone phenomenon and you want to catch up. Maybe you need to know about it for your new job.
No idea what
or
that
you
means.
just want to fit in with all the cool kids. Head on over to Simply Prepaid of Gulfport and they can hook you up with some good classes. If you tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you, you can get a free gift with any repair or activation. And now you're probably wondering, how can I get in contact with such a great deal? They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South. And if you don't know where Gulfport Boulevard South is, trust me, it's not hard. When you cross 49th Street going west on the 22nd Avenue South, it becomes Gulfport Boulevard. So it's not hard to find. It's very convenient. And trust me, Patrick and everybody at Simply Prepaid of Gulfport, they're reliable. They're
Got it.
there to
I had
help you
no
out.
idea
If
what you
wanna
meant by
call
that,
them,
Michael.
it's not hard.
I was
77331
thoroughly confused, but I appreciate you explaining and watching. I was
1934.
legit
I'm a man of my
confused.
word. Trust me when I say Simply Prepaid of Gulfport is the best in the Bay.
Yeah! Chief Keef, everybody!
From Chicago to Cleveland to
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
He hates being sober, y'all. Are they?
Tweet Ryan Hoppe at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Snapchat him at Hoppe Radio. And email him anytime at RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Now back to the show.
Hey, Heather B. There's a reason why I'm playing Chief Keef. I saw some breaking news today on Facebook. Chief Keef has been charged with attempted murder. So I see it before I go into the gym. I see my friend tweet the breaking news. I should have looked at the link. I go into the gym, get the job done. Then I'm going, yeah, I want to talk about Chief Keef and how he represents every bad part of Chicago and how he's an embarrassment. So I type in Chief Keef on Google. Nothing on him being accused of murder. One of his associates got found guilty of murder, but I thought it was very weird that my friend would share a link that is called TMX Hip Hop. Not TMZ. They took the TMZ logo, but they made it TMX. Guys, when you share news, you gotta make sure other news sources share it. But I am going to get into this. And before I even talk about his associate, we gotta appreciate the grammar and the greatness of this song known as Hate Being Sober. One of the best refrains of all time in any hip-hop song. The grammar and the intelligence that Keith Cozart, that's his real name, brings to this song represents my generation perfectly. Damn, I hate being sober. I'm a smoker. Frito a drinker. Tado off them Molly water. We can't spell sober. I'm pretty sure Chief Keef can't spell anything, but that's a side point. Ball out, roll up. When we roll up, bitches be on us. Yeah, because they're with Keith Cozart for yourself, not for being a semi-famous rapper. All the hoes, they love smoking and they love drinking. Anti-sober for no reason. I wonder what Chief Keef is like when he's sober. I know that
Never happens. But I would love to get to know Keith Cozart. Just saying. He's the same dude that last year named his daughter after a website. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Here was the name that he gave his daughter. You know, some people name their kids, let's say Mary or Susan. They might name them Kevin or Ryan. Here's what Keith Cozart, a.k.a. Chief Keef, I never get sick of this. Here's what he named his kid. You ready? Snowfilmon.com Cozart. Snowfilmon, that's the middle name. .com Cozart, and that's a local hip-hop company and music label, I believe. They make music videos for Chicago rap. I love that. But here's the news. Abir Sardin, Chief Keef associate, found guilty in murder. Not Chief Keef, not Keith Cozart. It's his associate, guys. He murdered a boy who was 14. And before I even get into this, let me say this. I promise you, with every passionate opinion in my body, and I promise you, with everything, if you were to put my life on the line, and you were to put a gun to my head, and if I was wrong, you would make me jump off the Sears Tower, I would put my life on the line when I say the crime that happens in Chicago and the scumbag leech of a mayor that they have in Chicago does not represent Chicago fully. I've been talking to people lately, and they can tell I'm from the Midwest because of my accent. The way I say accent, I pronounce the A's. The way I say salad, it sounds like I'm from the Midwest. Everybody knows I'm from Chicago. I'm a diehard Chicago Bears fan, Cubs fan, Bulls fan. I love Chicago. And shame on the media for not reporting anything positive about the city and just focusing on the murders on two sides of town. The same sides of town that tourists wouldn't go on in general. Even when crime wasn't as bad, let's say 10 or 20 years ago, nobody was visiting Englewood if you were a tourist of Chicago or if you were from the suburbs visiting Chicago for a day on the weekend with your kids. Nobody said, let's go to Englewood. Nobody said, hey, after the White Sox game, which is in a bad neighborhood, let's just go cruising. Let's go cruising through the ghetto. I'm just saying. Even though there was one time, me and my friends, we were so bored in the nice suburbs, you know, where there's like 10 murders every year. And that's how many there is per hour in that side of town in Chicago. Me and my friends went, and this is like in 2014, we say, hey, there's nothing to do in the suburbs, even though we're grateful and we should be appreciating what we have and parents that love us. Let's go cruising through the ghetto at 3 in the morning. What a smart idea. So me, my friend Derek and Jason, and my friend Connor, who went to DePaul. So if you keep going down and down and down in the ghetto, and we saw crime, we saw some things, no murder or anything, but we saw drug deals. I have no idea why we visited the home of Chief Keef, but we did. But I will never forget, we were about to leave with nothing happening to us. We were about to leave clean cut. But this happened in O Block, where Chief Keef is from. I said that very Caucasian. We were in O Block. We're like 7 miles deep into the ghetto. And we had the windows down. It's like 2:30 in the morning. This is during the summer. We are dumb suburban white kids. And there's this person that's posting up on the block. She's hanging out at the corner of the block. And my friend was unaware that the window was down because he was sitting in the middle of the back seat of my Honda. And he goes, is that a guy or girl? I can't tell. And it was a girl wearing a wife beater, and she looked like Snoop from The Wire. If you don't know who that is, look up Snoop from The Wire. And here's what happened. She starts walking towards my window of the car and goes, "What'd you say, bitch?" And she pulls up her wife beater a little bit, and she had a gun. We are such morons. And the funny part was, we then went through a red light. And it took us 10 minutes to get out of O Block. Because that's how deep we were in the ghetto. And we were scared out of our mind. We were frightened. It was not a well-planned out night. So even though there's these dumb suburban kids like us that like to mess around, and even though there's crime on the south and west side, trust me when I say Chicago is the best city in the Midwest, and one of the best cities in this country, and one of the most unique and artsy and amazing cities on this planet. Just because two sides of town are bad doesn't mean anything. And imbeciles, cretins, dirtbags like Abir Sardin, an associate of Chief Keef that was found guilty of murder, they claim they have pride for Chicago. And I'm not going to get into race relations. I'm not going to start breaking down the ghetto. But they say in their songs, "We love Chicago, yeah." But they say it in a different way. Do you love Chicago? Because when you murdered a 14-year-old, and whenever you make these music videos or these songs about being violent, you're making people think that Chicago is a slum. And you're representing everything that's wrong with the city. You scumbags. A 20-year-old associate of rapper Chief Keef and other Southside musicians has been found guilty of murdering a 14-year-old boy. Abir Sardin was convicted of first-degree murder of Venzel Richardson on Thursday at a Lytton criminal courthouse, the Cook County Attorney Office said. Or should I say Crook County? Get it? Because they're crooked. On February 12, 2014, Richardson was leaving 7-Eleven with friends in the 6100 block of South Vernon Avenue when a white van pulled up, according to prosecutors. They opened the door and began firing. This scumbag shot him 4 times, 3 times in the head and 1 time in the back. He managed to run away to a near gangway where he died of injuries. That's about it for the article. He looks like a really smart kid who had a bright future. And this scumbag, Abir Sardin, was previously falsely tied to the high-profile 2012 murder of rapper Lil Jojo, whose name was Joseph Coleman. And Lil Jojo went to my rival high school, Buffalo Grove High School, and a few of my friends had class with him. He wasn't the best kid, per se. I didn't know Lil Jojo. But that was a really big deal in 2012 when he was shot and killed. So, this scumbag, Abir Sardin, got 45 years to life in prison. 45 years to life in prison, and he will be sentenced on October 26th. So yeah, false alarm. It wasn't Chief Keef that was accused of murder. I don't even know where the attempted murder charge came from. It was from the very trustworthy source of TMX Sports. But no, that was not Chief Keef that was charged with murder. It was his associate. All right. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. I also see this in the news. And what I find weird is this. By no means am I patting myself on the back for what I do here on Happy Hour. Anybody can do it. Radio is easy. I would like to think I have talent. I would like to think that I'm potentially ahead of the pack, but I'm just an average goofball ranting on the news. But I would like to think that I do some more creative Facebook Lives than most people who Facebook Live beer pong or beer chugging, or this man. This is from the Daily Mail. Dallas man broadcast police traffic pullover on Facebook Live because he said he was being targeted for being black, but accidentally records himself hiding his cocaine. He had the grand chance to prove a point, because I do think cops profile a lot. He had the grand chance to have a viral video. But if you're trying to get away with it, and you're trying to hide your coke, wouldn't you think to maybe hide it first and then film on Facebook Live? I just find it bizarre that people use Facebook Live for things that could criminate them, for things that could put them in jail or make them have to get a lawyer. Like, all I'm doing here is sitting on my ass like a lazy person, drinking a Sprite at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night, talking about the news. It's very weird to me that people use it for things that are going to prevent you from having a future. Dominique Green, age 24, was pulled over in a parking lot in Dallas, Texas. He began to film on Facebook Live, and he says the officers unfairly targeted him for being black on a Friday. Yet cops say that in the same video, you can see him putting away cocaine in the driver's side door. They say he threatened an officer, spit on him, and threatened his life, and tried to shove the cop when he was being under arrest. He was charged with 11 charges. Oh boy. There was nothing really riveting with the Facebook Live. I watched the video. I'll tweet out the link at Ryan Hoppe Radio. But there was nothing that would bring radio gold. It's just a guy mumbling about nothing, and then you see him trying to hide the coke. But there was nothing that said radio gold like watching this moron. You almost kind of feel bad for him just because he's a dummy who didn't hide the coke first. But here are some of the very smart quotes to put on a Facebook Live, something that can criminate you. Very smart quotes. Some of these quotes include, "They're just effing with me because I'm young and on the wrong side of the neighborhood." And then you see cops surrounding the car. "I'm glad I didn't get out of the car, yo. I got a pocket full of all this shit." I'm going to quote the guy from The Wire. I'm not going to say it. And you see him putting the drugs away, and he comes off panicking, it says. And they said he was originally pulled over for not having his turn signal on. Now that's sketchy. That's a scumbag move by the cops to pull somebody over for not using a turn signal. I agree with him when I say he was pulled over for being black on a Friday. He had the perfect chance to have a video that could go viral that people would respect. Because any cop that pulls anybody over for not using their turn signal is a scumbag and a loser, because they're the same people that speed down the highway and never use their turn signals and actually sometimes almost crash into people because people don't know what the cop is doing. They don't want to go ahead of the cop because everyone's afraid to do that. So I do agree with him. He had a chance to be noble and to have a video, but he screwed it up. What is it? Are you European? Because you a pilgrim-ass douchebag. I cleaned it out. But he also threatened to kill the wife and to rape the daughter. When I get out, I'm going to hunt you down. He's being held on $250,000 of bail. That's the thing. Even if you're caught with cocaine, it's not the worst thing in the world. You come off like a moron in the video. You don't come off very smart. I can't guarantee you that. But if he would have kept his mouth shut, people would have said, okay, he had coke in the car, he's a dummy, but he should not have been pulled over for not using his turn signal on a Friday. He got screwed over. But when you begin spitting on a cop and threatening his life and saying you're going to rape his daughter and you're going to kill his wife, you're not proving a point. And frankly, the video was not going to go anywhere. And you're not a very smart person if you think that's going to pull out sympathy. I'm just saying. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And you can get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back and wrap everything up after this on Hoppe Hour. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to this riveting show known as Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour.
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from Hoppe Hour, and I have a very special shout out.
What's up, Chocolate Charlie in the house?
Award-winning podcast. Nicholas Seymour from Duluth, Minnesota, is the owner of Jolie's Graphics, which is a badass company that will make you decals. You can buy Hoppe Hour decals. It's not too hard. For just $4, you can support this award-winning podcast while supporting small business here in America. Or maybe you have a band, a company, a freelancing project. And
I know you want to talk to me, Chocolate Charlie. I see you're watching. You tuned in. Come on, Mike. What's up, dude?
He's down for making deals, and he is very good at negotiating. If you want to get into contact with Nick, it's not hard. Trust me. He will answer your call real quick, and he is one of the nicest guys I know.
Cricket.
His number is 330-419-0691. That is 330-419-0691. Or you can send him an email, soliesdesign@gmail.com. That is soliesdesign@gmail.com. And to check out Hoppe Hour decals for just $4, go to tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. That is tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. And when you talk to my guy Nick, just say that Ryan Hoppe sent you, and he will give you a badass deal. Trust my word, pimps. Nick Seymour of Jolie's Graphics is the best around.
Call Hoppe, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773. Syndicated on IRN and heard around the world on the Hoppe Radio app. You are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
Okay. I have one more thing I'm going to talk about before I wrap up the show, but call me 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop. I have my own app by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. And a guy chimed in and said, you have your own commercials? He commented that on Hoppe TV. Yes. This show was brought to you by Simply Prepaid at T-Mobile in Gulfport, Florida, and Nicholas Seymour, a fan out of Duluth, Minnesota, that makes some really cool decals. I will plug that later. But I have a really weird headline. The perfect way to end this show. So call the show, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. And this is from the Daily Mail. Out of this world, in quotes. Sex erotic robots, real as human to have a pulse. And here's my thing. When I was younger, let's say 15 to 18 or 19, I would be lying if I said, when I say I would maybe use this, I would be lying to you if I said this wouldn't intrigue me. But here's the thing, is that I like the idea of being with a girl, or I like the idea of going on Pornhub.com or XNXX and getting the job done. I don't get this whole thing of robot sex, even if there's a pulse. Because once you climax and once you finish, you have this robot in front of you that's not real. and you already have the shame. I've looked this up on Google. Guys have shame after they watch an adult film on Pornhub.com because the video keeps playing, and you're going, oh, I'm laying in bed, or oh, I'm on the couch, or I'm on the toilet, and I'm by myself, and this video is playing of people having sex, and I'm not having sex. You have the shame. Sort of like how Lil Wayne says it. Once you come, you then come to your senses. No pun intended. It's basically what happens. I cannot imagine having that where you have a robot in front of you that's lifelike. It looks real, but it's not real, and it has a pulse. Very creepy. Luxury sex doll company, Real Doll CEO, Matt McMullen. Can you imagine being his mother or father, or even his wife? I'm not saying the guy's not successful. I'm just saying, you go, so what's Matt been up to? I haven't seen him in 20 years. He makes sex dolls. It's just kind of a weird business. They say that this has lifted the future of our kinky sex partners. And it's better than you can imagine, maybe. The erotic cyborgs, which have interchangeable body parts, will chat, will have an accent, move and smile. I would be so creeped out after I'm done and this thing's talking to me. Did you enjoy it? How does it feel? I mean, I find blow-up dolls to be creepy as it is. And I hate going to nudie bars. It is a waste of money. And even when you go on Pornhub.com, you feel weird afterwards. So I would never, ever get this. It says that this doll will breathe, talk dirty, have a temperature, and it will have a personality. Can you imagine if you're like trying to sell your apartment and you leave that thing out and somebody walks in and they go, oh, what's her name? And you go, oh, it's my erotic sex doll. Or you have a house opening party and you leave it out in the basement, and let's say you have a really nice basement and you have an Xbox set up, you have a TV set up, and all the kids go down there and they go up and they go, why isn't that girl talking? She just sits there and breathes. I'm just saying, when you have a doll like this, you're asking to have weird moments happen. You're asking to have something happen like from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Here's what Matt McMullen, the CEO of this company, said. We want to create believable experiences, which are literally out of this world. Because having sex with a doll is believable. If you're having sex with a doll and you find that pleasurable and you're having fun with that, getting laid isn't believable. Getting laid isn't a factor. Because if you have the mindset to take money out of your bank account or out of your wallet or out of your paycheck to pay good money for a real sex doll, you probably don't have the personality or the traits or anything going for you where you would know how to pick up a girl, or you would know how to be a Casanova around a girl and get a good-looking girl's number, let's say when you're grocery shopping. I'm not saying I'm great around women. I've gotten better. I'm a goofy guy. I'm just saying, if you have the need to get this toy, there's something wrong with you. Call the show. Would you get this toy? 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. All right, here's the deal. I know you're sad. I know you're heartbroken. I know you can't believe that this riveting show is about to end, but it will. So, here's the deal. You can listen to me via the Hoppe Radio app, or you can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio.
But first, it's time for last call. Happy hour is about to end. But first, it's time for last call.
All right, happy hour is about to end. but you can get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play or iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There you can listen to all 150 interviews I have conducted since May 2015 when this show began. You can also chat me live when I'm doing the show. And I don't care if you're in Cleveland where we have record-breaking numbers. Don't care if you're in Tampa Bay, Auckland, New Zealand, Camden, New Jersey, Los Angeles, Portland. You can listen to me anywhere in the world by getting the Hoppe Radio app. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Email me if you're traditional or you want to be a sponsor. RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Also, go to my sponsor, Solly's Graphics out of Duluth, Minnesota. My guy, Nicholas Seymour, makes Hoppe Hour decals, and he can make you decals. But go to tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. It's tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour decal. For just $2, you can get Hoppe Hour decals. You can put them on your laptop, put them in your man cave. You can put them on your car and spread the word of this award-winning podcast. Simply Prepaid of T-Mobile. They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South, and that's in Gulfport, Florida. That's 5014 Gulfport Boulevard in Gulfport. Call them at 727-331-1934. That's 727-331-1934. And if you go there and you talk to Tony Spinney and Patrick McVicker and Ryan in the tech department, they will hook you up with a deal. And I see that I have a comment in real time on the Hoppe TV platform on Facebook where you can watch me live. And you can watch me live at tinyurl.com/Hoppe Hour Live. All 59 videos I have done of this show on Periscope and on Facebook can be seen there. But anyway, somebody who had my back, who taught me a lot about radio at Dance Factory Radio in WCPT, Chicago's Progressive Talk, Miss Lady B chimes in and says hi with a smile emoji. What's up, Lady B? I'm going to be back for Christmas, so I will be sure to visit Dance Factory Radio. Go to my website, RyanHoppeRadio.com. And frankly, that's about it for the plugs. This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour is now over, but you can always listen 24/7 by getting the app or going to RyanHoppeRadio.com. Happy Hot Topic!